Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. Except, of course, I'm not really in beautiful Salem at the moment. I'm in beautiful St. Louis at the St. Louis Pagan Picnic. Today is Sunday, June 13th. It's the second day of the picnic, and it's also Gerald Gardner's birthday. Um, for those who do not know who Gerald Gardner is, Gerald Gardner is the man who really popularized the modern Wiccan religion. Um, and really helped bring the old religion into the modern world. Exactly what he did is highly controversial for a variety of reasons, most of them political, more than anything else, in my opinion. And if you happen to read my daily astrological blog, you will see a little bio of Gerald Gardner, not much of a biography because my time was rather limited. And it really could fill several books, the things that could be said about Gerald Gardner, and probably would fill several books, the things that have been said about Gerald Gardner. The thing that I want to say about Gerald Gardner, I have been a Wiccan initiate of the Correllian tradition for those who consider Correllianism to be Wiccan, which Correllianism itself does, since 1976. And what I find most interesting is the difference in Gardner's image and reputation that has occurred in those many years. When I was initiated, Gardner was relatively well thought of and well spoken of. But it's been many, many years since I've seen anything substantially good written about Gerald Gardner. Most of the things you see paint him out to have been a horrible, horrible person. Particularly the works of Ronald Hutton, which imply that Gardner was the kind of man who would deliberately libel a woman who was a fairly conservative Christian because he thought it was a good joke. And I would hate to think that he was really that kind of person. Luckily, I don't really think the facts support it either. I personally think that he was probably pretty much what he presented himself to be. He was a world traveler. He was an enthusiast for archaeology and anthropology and the study of folklore. He wrote a number of books, which are actually pretty good, of which only a couple actually deal with witchcraft and Wicca. And the damage to his image and reputation mostly has been done in an effort to force fit facts to make him into a kind of, for want of a better way to put it, a Wiccan Jesus. A single founder for a religion which actually has many different origins. Um, and in the course of trying to do this, his personality has really been portrayed in very negative terms. Now, it seems to me that's starting to change a little bit. Um, and I would hope that that might be the case. And of course, one of the reasons it's starting to change is that some of the arguments are becoming undone. It was back in the 80s that Doreen Valente proved that Dorothy Clutterbuck was a real person. Um, and of course, those who didn't want her to exist, did not want anything before Gardner, then created a huge argument as to whether she was or was not Wiccan, pagan, witch, or any of the above, and tried to make her out to have been drastically different. The works of Philip Hazelton have shown that actually it's pretty hard to argue that she wasn't um, pagan or Wiccan, although, well, personally, I would say that her diaries are the smoking gun. I mean, I don't really see any way to read these diaries and not see an eclectic Wiccan or pagan. Now, if your definition of Wicca is, as for some people it is, Gardnerian Wicca only, she may not have been that. Because, looking at what she had to write about, it does not reflect necessarily that point of view. It's much more the point of view you see in eclectic Wicca, in my opinion. Or even perhaps, um, well, I'll leave it at that. But if you have a chance to read Heselton's work, I recommend it, particularly his work dealing with Dorothy Clutterbuck. And it's very interesting that the more people have tried to say that everything comes from Gardner, the more other people they've found, including the real Clutterbuck, the Lady Daffo, um, and other figures around Gardner. who certainly contributed to all of this. Now, of course, the whole purpose of this conversation is that the term Wicca is extremely controversial within the community between two different camps, those for whom it refers to only Gardnerian Wicca and things that come directly from it, and those for whom it refers to a much wider movement, sometimes referred to in general as eclectic, although I'm not sure eclectic is really the best word for it. Um, but I obviously belong to that other camp because the tradition I belong to would come under the heading of eclectic by that definition. And certainly what I practice as Wicca is not Gardnerian Wicca. Um, and I would like to say that in the future one would like to see that gulf narrowed and perhaps see these two camps reconcile, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think that the schism between Gardnerian and eclectic Wicca is like the schism between the Roman Catholic and the Orthodox Church in Christianity. It's going to be there, and it will be there forever, in all likelihood. But you never know. History may prove me wrong. So that's my soapbox for today, and I wish you a happy Gerald Gardner's birthday. And until next time, may you blessed be.